Gajananam Bhutaganati Sevitam Kapita Jambu Palasar Bhakshitam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakaranam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam Gurur Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmat Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Sri Matre Namaha Om Sri Annadhaya Namaha Om Sri Vasudhaya Namaha Om Sri Sachamra Ramavani Savyadachana Sevitaya Namaha Om Sri Kataksha Kinkari Puta Kamala Koti Sevitaya Namaha Om Sri Shivashaktyaike Rupunye Namaha Om Sri Lalita Ambikaye Namaha Om Sri Shantanam Tavaduta Sadgurave Namaha Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva. Namaskaram to all. Welcome to session number 12 of Lalitha Sahasranamam in the series of Vande Vidya Shankaram. In our last session 11, we had covered up to slokam 120 and Nama number 600, ending with Daksha Yajna Vinashini. In that session, I had explained the benefits of reciting the individual and also collective names in Lalitha Sahasranamam. It's actually based on Sri Bhaskaraya's commentary in Saubhagya Bhaskaram. And we also talked about the Maha Shodasi mantra, which is the king of mantras. Today, in this session number 12, we will start with sloka number 121 and Nama 601. Before that, I'd like to thank Sri Krishnan, who made an observation at the end of last session on Mantra Matrika Pushpamala Stavaha. Is one of the greatest compositions of Adi Shankaracharya, and it is most relevant to Shodasi Mantra that we covered in the last session. So in response to Sri Krishnan's request, I'm going to cover some important aspects of this Pushpamala. We will start as usual with our Jnana Slokam. I'm going to turn on the slides now. Okay, let's start with our Jnana Slokam. You can all recite together. Keep always in mind the visual of Ambal. You know, you see the picture, it's so beautiful. While looking at it, you can recite the Jnana Slokam. Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Maudi Spurate Tara Naike Shekaram Pitamukim Apina Vakshoruham Parnibhyam Alipurna Ratna Sashakam Rakthot Phalam Bibratim Saumyam Ratna Gadastarakta Charanam Jayet Paramambikam Arunam Karuna Tarankidakshim Dritapa Sankucha Pushpabana Chapam Animadi Viravratam Ayukaiki Rakamate Vibhavaye Bivavani Jayet Padmasanastam Vikasatapadanam Padmapadraya Dakshim Yemabam Pitapastram Kara Kali Talasat Hema Padmambarangim Sarvalankar Tatadam Avayatam Bhakta Namram Bhavanim Sri Vidyam Shantamurtim Sakala Suranutam Sarva Sampat Pradatrim Sa Kunkava Vilepanam Malikuchumbi Kasturikam Samanta Hasidechanam Sasara Chapa Pashan Kusham Ashesha Janamodinim Arunamalya Bhusham Param Japa Kusuma Basuram Japa Vitos Paret Ambikam. Such a beautiful Dhyana slogam. Now let's see some highlights of what I said. Mantra Matrika Pushpamala. You know, this is in last session I explained the meaning of Shodasakshari Vidya as the science of what is called 16-syllable mantra. Now this Mantra Matrika Pushpamala Sama is a beautiful composition of Sri Adi Shankaracharya, and it explains about the Shodas Upacharam and Panchadakshari, which I'll come to a little later. And I mentioned Bhaskaraya quoting the Gaudapatra Sutra, which says the mantra consists of 28 syllables. Though it has got 28 letters, it is called Shodasi or Shodasakshari, meaning 16 letters. This is because the lines 4, 5, and 6, having 5, 6, and 4 bijas, are called kutas. Kutas means groups or set and combined bijas. Therefore, even though it has 28 letters, it's called Shodasakshari. There's one thing about Sanskrit. I just want to cover one or two points about this beautiful language. You know, this is a language where there is no uppercase or lowercase letters in Devanagari. It's all same case. There is no concept of spelling in Devanagari. You write what you speak and you speak what is written. That is the beauty of it. There is no confusion about it. And in Lalitha Sahasranamam, we not only learn the philosophy behind each nama, but also enjoy the usage of Sanskrit language. As you may know, there are many meanings to a Sanskrit word, and so there are many interpretations also to namas. To explain the beauty of Sanskrit, let me recall an interesting episode, very humorous conversation between the great Adi Shankara and Vandana Mishra that showed double meaning of words. You all know that Vandana Mishra eventually became Sureshwarai, disciple of Adi Shankara, who was the first guru in Sringeri Vidya. To meet Vandana Mishra, Adi Shankara, he kind of gate crashed into Vandana Mishra's house. That too on a day when Vandana Mishra was performing a Shradham. So Vandana Mishra was furious to see a clean-shaven sannyasi who had no karmas, and Vandana Mishra always was a Purva Mimamsa. They believed only in karma, and sannyasis don't have karma, so he didn't like Adi Shankara coming in. So he asked him in a very sarcastic manner, Kuto Mundi, meaning, Motta engande in Tamil, you know, where is this clean shaven head coming from? No, Adi Shankara replied very humorously, Galan Munde. From neck onwards, it is coming from neck onwards. Vandana Mishra, he said, Margam Prichate Maya. I am asking you the path from where you came. I'm not asking about your head, but I'm asking the path. And even that, Adi Shankara replied funnily, Kim Kaha Pata. So what did the path tell you? Because when you say Margam Prichate Maya, I am asking the path. He replies, so what did the path tell you? Adi Shankara was so humorous. And Vandana Mishra lost his temper and shouted, Surapita, are you drunk? And Adi Shankara again replied, Sura Swata, na Pita. No, Pita means it has two meaning, you know. Are you drunk? And Pita also means yellow color. So Adi Shankara says, Svira Sveta, na Pita. Liquor is white, not yellow. As the word Pita in Sanskrit can mean color yellow as well. Such is the humor in Sanskrit, and it is such a beautiful language. So I'm getting back to the Sanskrit letters. The arrangement of letters in Sanskrit alphabet is called Varnamala, which means garland of letters. So in the Tantra and Shastra worship of Devi, Sanskrit letters are hidden in the Sri Chakra and Lalitha Sahasranamam. That is why Devi is described Matrika Varna Rupini. And Akshara means a letter in Sanskrit. It has 3 syllables. A, Sha, Ra. A is the starting letter and Sha is the last letter. There is an Upanishad called Akshamala Upanishad, which gives the meanings of every letter. The Akshamala that Ambal is holding is a string made up of beads like this, and it's got 50 letters of the alphabet, A2. So it's called Akshamala. So each letter in the Sanskrit word, the alphabet, contains a Shakti as its presiding title. So coming back to Shodasi Mantra, I said Mantra Raj, King of Mantras, and I'd explain what is Maha Shodasi Mantra. I want to make it clear that I am not really preaching this mantra, but only explaining the concept behind it, as they're an essential part of Lalitha Sahasranamam. So, what is the connection between the Shodasi Mantra and Mantra Matrika Pushpamala Stavaha? There is a very good connection. I'll just explain the relevance and some important aspects of the Pushpamala. As you see in the slide here, it's a beautiful composition of Adi Shankaracharya. The special feature of this composition, it is unique combination of Shodasa Upacharam, which is 16 Upacharams, and Shodasi Mantra. It has got totally 17 verses, and Mantra Pushpamala means it is a mantra in praise of Ambal, the Divine Mother, in the form of a Pushpamala, a garland which is woven what? With what? With alphabets. What are these alphabets? So these are the Bijaksharas of Panchadasakshari mantra. The first alphabet of the first 15 verses, this Pushpamala form the 15 Bijaksharas of Panchadasakshari mantra. Each of the first 15 verses begins with one letter of Panchadasakshari mantra, contained in the 3 kutas I mentioned. The first verse with Ka, the second verse with I, the third verse with E, the fourth with La, and so on. The 16th verse begins with the Bija Srim, which you append to the Panchadasi mantra, it becomes the Shodasakshari mantra. Now, in the 16th verse is actually a Palasruti, but it indicates the merits what the devotee will get the benefit. And in the 16 verses, Adi Shankara offers the Shodasa Upacharas, the 16 types of services like Avakanam, Achanam, Padyam, Argyam, Achamanyam, Snanam, Vastram, etc. Those who do puja at home, they are familiar with these 16 upacharams. The 17th one is, in the last verse, is an eulogy. It is in the form of a submission of this mala at Devi's feet. It says, Iti Girivara Putri Pata Rajiva Bhusha. Devi is described as Girivara Putri, the daughter of the king of mountains. So Sankaracharya, he places the mantra mala, mantra matrika, pushpa mala at Devi's feet. And that is the last one, the 17th verse. It's a brilliant composition. And to understand this Pushpamala, we need to know what are these three kutas and what is Panchadasa mantra. Panchadasi means 15. Everybody knows it. Since his mantra has got 15 letters, it is called Panchadasi. The understanding of the mantra may be a little complex. I will try to explain it in as simple way as possible. You know these three lines, what I mentioned here, the three kutas. The first is Vagbhava Kuta. You know, there is a verse in Lalitha Sahasranamam which says, Srimad Bhagava Kutaika Swarupa Mukapankaja. What does it mean? Her lotus face is corresponding to the great Vagbhava Kuta. That is the first Kuta, Vagbhava Kuta. After that comes Kanta Takati Parjanta Madhya Kuta Swarupini. You see, the first Vagbhava Kuta represents the face. From the throat to the waist, Kanda Kati Paryanta, Madhya Kuta Swarupini. From the throat to the waist, she represents the Madhya Kuta. Madhya means middle, right? Shakti Kutaika Tapanna Katyato Bhagadarini, the third one. The portion lower from the waist represents the Shakti Kuta. So you have the face on the Vagbhava Kuta, Madhya Kuta from the throat to the waist, and the portion below the waist is called Shakti Kuta. Now, each of these has got bijas, as you see. Which is the first one? Vagbhava Kuta has got 5 bijas. What are those? Ka, A, E, La, Krim. The A, what is pronounced is like paint, you know, A, sort of. The next one, Madhya Kuta, it is consisting of 6 bijas. 6. Ha, Sa, Ka, Ha, La, Krim. And the third one, Shakti Kuta, has got again 4 bijas. 4 bijas, which is Sa, Ka, La, Krim. And the 15 verses I mentioned from the Matrika Pushpamala, they each one begin with each of the syllables in sequence. That's the beauty of it. Now, each syllable stands for a Devata, like Shiva, Shakti, Vishnu, Brahma, and so on, you know. Now, the 15 bijas of Panchadasi are the most secretive mantra of Lalita Ambikai. And all the 3 quotas end with Hrim. And this Hrim is called Hri Lekha. There are very minute details which we are not discussing now. And there are also many interpretations of the bijas from different scholars. So, we will explain the significance of each kuta a little bit. The first kuta, Vagbhava Kuta, it is representing the Jnana Shakti of Lalita Ambikai. Ka refers to Brahma, A refers to Saraswati, and so on. And since it refers to Brahma, the first kuta refers to creation. The second kuta, which is the Madhya Kuta, it's also called Kamaraja Kuta. This has got the highest number of bijas, 6 bijas. We have 2 new bijas here, Ha and Sa. And out of these, Ha has been repeated twice. The first Ha, it means Shiva. And the second Ha means Akasha. And Sa refers to Vishnu. So in this kuta, since Vishnu is mentioned, it is representing sustenance. Vishnu is sustenance. Going to the third kuta is called Shakti Kuta. It is only 4 bijas. And this is to meditate upon the portion between the hip and the feet. In this kuta, the Ha bija is not there. Now, this kuta forms the third act of Brahman, which is Pralayam or dissolution. So, each of the 3 represent creation, sustenance, and dissolution. So you cover the creation by Brahma, sustenance by Vishnu, and dissolution. So in Lalita Maha, Tripura Sudari is Mahatantra, Mahamantra, Mahayantra. Sarva Yantratmika, Sarva Tantra Rupa Manormani. That is why a lot of stress is made in the Panchadasi mantra. Now, we are not going to cover the entire Pushpamala for lack of time, but I want to give you just 2 sample slokas from this Mantra Matrika Pushpamala Stava, the first one and the 15th one. Let's take a look at the first slokam, which is starting with Ka, the first bija letter Panchadasi mantra. This is a beautiful. I'm going to recite it quickly. Kallola Ullasita Amritabdi Lahari Madhye Virajan Manidvipe Kalpaka Vatika Parivrite Kadamba Vat Ujjwale. First 2 lines. Ratrastamba Sagasra Nirmita Sabha Madhye Bimanottame Chinta Ratna Vinirmitam Jananite Simbasanam Bhavaye. Now, these are pretty long words, so I'm splitting it up so that you can understand it better. You see, this is starting with Ka, which I put in red because that is the first bija and the first kuta. So in this slokam, Adi Shankara visualized the mother in a Simhasanam, Why is it called Simhasanam? Because the legs are carved in the shape of 4 lions, If you see the Simhasanam, the first 2, you see in the picture, there is a lion on either side. So there are 4 lions and 4 legs. So it's called Simhasanam. A throne. Now this throne is made up here with Chinta Ratna. Chinta Ratna is a type of precious stone which is capable of fulfilling all desires like Kamadhenu. Now this throne is placed under a Vimana and it is built up with gold and precious gems. And it's in the middle of an island called Manidvipa. The same narration is there in Saundarya also. Now the devotee's mind is totally pervaded by Ambal's thoughts. When you recite this, your mind gets totally isolated from the material world and you think about Ambal sitting on this beautiful Simhasanam which is made up of Chinta Ratna. Of course, it goes further to say the second slokam goes on to describe the Devi's gross form and to invoke the Devi Chinman in the mind. It says the central point of Sri Chakra is called Bindu, which is the abode of Parashakti. I'm not quoting all the slokas, but I want to highlight a few points. Remember last time I explained the meaning of Tambula Purita Mukhi and gave several references of how Ambal is happy with Tambulam. In this Pushpamala also, in the 12th verse, Adi Shankara refers to Ambal's desire for Tambulam. It's a beautiful verse which I will just recite for you. Sachahir Varaketa Hi Dala Ruchi Tambula Balli Dalaihi Pugair Buri Gunaihi Sugandhi Maduraihi Katpura Kantojvalaihi. Now Adi Shankara places a tambulam box before Ambal, which has got the palm leaf, betel leaves, Karpura Vitika, which is condiment like saffron and cardamom, clove, camphor, etc., kasturi, nutmeg, all for Devi's happiness. So Devi is so happy with tambulam. That is covered under Slokam 12, but I am not showing that Slokam right now. We'll go to the last Slokam, number 15 now. Here you see it is starting with Hrim, which I mentioned earlier. It is the fourth and last bija, theme of the third kuta, the last kuta, Shakti kuta I mentioned. And this is mentioned in the 15th and last bija. So at the end of this verse, Panchadasi mantra, if the first bijas of these verses are taken, entire Panchadasi mantra consisting of all the 15 bijas is formed. So beautifully composed that every verse starts with one syllable of the Panchadasi mantra and ends with this 15 sloka. This is the beauty of this particular thing. Krinkara Traya Samputena Manunopasye Tri Maulibi Vakir Lakshatano Tava Studi Vidau Kova Shameta Ambike Sallapaka Stutayaha Pradachine Satam Sanchara Eva Stute Samveshwa Namasaha Sahasra Makilam Tot Pritaye Kalpatam. Oh Ambike, you should be meditated upon by the three mantras. What is the mantra? Three mantras with cream. Cream Kara Traya Samputena. With three mantras. So it goes on to say, Mother, you can be realized through the subtle teachings of Upanishad. Who can be an expert to compose stotras in your praise? Let my spoken words be praise to you. Let my all movement be pradakshina to you. Let my lying down be thousands of namaskarams to you. Let all these be for your grace. So, very simple words he puts Adi Shankara, that he doesn't want to make it a very formal ritual. He says, let my spoken words be prayers to you. Let my movement be pradakshanam. And let my lying down be thousands of namaskarams to you. You know, his entire mind is filled with Ambal, so he speaks only auspicious words and offers all his body movements of pradakshana namaskara. In short, he realizes Ambal within himself and this radiates positive energy all around. That is why I think mere presence near Mahans, like Gurus, like Sringeri Acharyas, you just go near him, it gives you a good feeling because they radiate positive energy. And the chanting of Lalitha Sahasranamam fills our minds with Ambal, and we also get the positive feeling within us. That is the beauty of Sahasranamam. You see how relevant it is? Mantra Matrika Pushpamala to Lalitha Sahasranamam. I want to spend some time on this so that you understand how beautiful this is and how relevant it is. And thanks to Mr. Krishnan again for bringing this to my notice. Now we will move on to our regular session, sloka number 21. 121. Darandolita Dirgachi Darahas Ujjalan Mukhi Guru Murtir Guranitir Gomata Gugojanva Buhu. Darandolita Dirgachi. You can split it into Dara, Andolita, Dirgakshi. Dara means, slowly moving. If the feeling of fear. Even in Hindi, you see Jara means just near, isn't it? Dara, Jara. Dara means slow, moving. Andolita is driving out, and Dirgakshi is large eyes. Ambal's glances, they dispel the fear of devotees. Her eyes express compassion, concern for devotees. You all know Muka was a dumb person, but with the blessing of goddess Kamakshi, he became a great poet. He became a Shankaracharya later on, but he composed what is called Muka Panchasati, consisting of 500 verses, glorifying the divine beauty of goddess Kamakshi. It has got 5 shatakams, each shatakam of 100 verses. One of them is called Katakta Shatakam, which has got 101 verses dedicated to Ambal's eyes. Mukhe, Mukha, it's such a beautiful verse that he was suddenly blessed with that power by Kamakshi to recite these in Kanchipuram. In South Island also there are verses praising Ambal's eyes. So in our daily lives also, you look at somebody's eyes, it reveals many things. Eyes, they speak. And in this case, Ambal's eyes, they dispel the fear of devotees. Going further, Daraha Svojjulan Mukhi. Dara Haso Jwalan Mukhi. You can split it. Dara is gentle little again, like Jara in Hindi. Haso means laugh, no? Jwalan Mukhi is shining face. It means Ambal, whose face shines with a gentle smile. When you see a smiling face, we all feel happy, isn't it? Nowadays, people use smiling face emojis to which show happiness, right? Smile begets smiles. What is the longest word in English? People give me different answers. But I like to say the longest word in English is smiles. S-M-I-L-E-S. Starting with yes and ending with yes. Smiles. You know why? Because there is a mile between yes and yes. Between two S, you got 1 mile. It's the longest word. So it is a kind of a joke. But really speaking, smiles are good. This Nama really teaches us a lesson. Keep a smiling face. A smile costs nothing, isn't it? So here Ambal is teaching us, Daraha Svojjulan Mukhi mean, a gentle smile from Ambal teaches us to smile as she keeps. Gurumurti, very famous name. Devi is the window for knowledge. So she assumed the form of Guru, the teacher. In Bhaskaraya quotes actually the Sundari Tapani Upanishad. Just as the words pot or vessel mean something, so the words mantra, devata and guru mean the same thing. The meaning of the word guru is given in the Shakti Rahasya. Gu means darkness and ru means removing that. In another place, Gu is existence and no knowledge, because he is one with the knowledge of Brahman. He is called Guru. He is also quoting Nitya Hridaya, which says one should meditate upon that Devi who assumes all forms at will as the Guru. So Guru is one who removes the darkness, and mantra, devata, guru mean the same things. So one should meditate upon the Devi who really assumes all forms as the Guru. Going further, 604 Nama, Gunanidhi. Of course, everybody knows what is Nidhi. Nidhi is a very famous term now everywhere. Nidhi means wealth, treasure. So she is a treasure house of qualities. Bhaskaraya gives detailed explanation for this. He says the Samkhya doctrine, which talks about Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, specifically 3 gunas. It is a school of Indian philosophy that is known for its theory of these 3 gunas. But they in different proportions. Gunas also mean a combination of 9 qualities. Now, Lord Shiva is said to possess 9 qualities. The 9 qualities are Kala, Kula, Nama, Jnana, Chit, Nada, Bindu, and Kalpa, and Jiva. These are 9 qualities. It includes, time, lineage, names, knowledge, consciousness, Chit. sincerity, mind, food vitality. So these are the 9 different qualities which are covered under the gunas. And there is also a story which is connected again with this nama. Guna also means a rope. During the great pralaya, Vishnu took Matsya Avtaram in the form of a fish. He placed the entire seeds of jivas in a boat and pulled them with a rope that was tied to the nose of the fish. Now Devi took the form of the rope, of this rope which pulled the boat and tied to the nose of the fish. You know how strong it should be. So the guna here also refers to Devi as a rope. So Navadurga represents the 9 forms of Durga Devi with 9 different qualities. So Gunanidhi has got a beautiful explanation from Bhaskaraya. Now Gomata, I think easy to understand, mother of cow or collection of cows. Here, Go also means heaven, bull, race, bow, yet, speech, so many things. There is a Manjari called Aneka Arthadhyayani Manjari, which says the meaning is mother, fire, face, truth, and path. But this is, in our dharma, cows are considered sacred. So this name, Gomata, could also mean the holy Kamadhenu, which is capable of yielding any quantity of food at any time. So Gomata really is the collection of meanings, mother of cow, and it has got several other meanings, but we can take it as a Kamadhenu. Going further, Nama number 606, Guha Janma Buhu. This is the last word in this verse. Guha, in Tamil also you say Guhai, right? Guha means a cave, a place to hide or conceal, secret. Janma Buhu is referring to the birthplace. It means the mother of Guha, Guha Janma Buhu. But here, Guha refers to Lord Subramanya. Ambal, who is the birthplace of Lord Subramanya. Guha, that which is covered. The jivas veiled by avidya or ignorance. Janma Buhu, the birthplace. Brihadaranya Upanishad says, just as from fire, small sparks arise. Souls are tiny sparks, and the self is Brahman or Lalitambika. The Yajnavalkya Smriti, again quoted by Bhaskaraya, says, just as sparks come from the hot iron when you beat it, so the souls have come out from the self. So here, this supports our belief that everything living is a tiny spark of the Brahman. And you can imagine in the morning when you get up, especially now, the sun rising on the lawn, you find the dew on the grass. And there are tiny dewdrops on the grass. They all reflect the sun like jewels, the small gems which are spread all over. There is one sun, but there are so many of them being reflected. Similarly, one strong Brahman is reflecting as tiny sparks in every living being. So, Guha Janma Buhu, it is also referring to the mother of Guha, but also saying that Guha, which is a covered thing, that means by ignorance, Janma Buhu, the birthplace, and just as sparks come out from the hot iron, the souls have come out from self, from the secret. Coming to next verse, number 122. Deveshi Dandanidista Dahara Kasharupini Pratipanmukya Rakanta Titi Mandala Pujita. Deveshi is Nama 607. Deveshi, Deva Ishi. She is the Ishwari for Devas, which means that she is the supreme among all the Devatas, gods and goddesses. She is the source of all divinities. Danda Nidista. Danda Niti. Danda means what? Punishment. You know, in Tamil also we call Dandanai, right? Which means punishment. Niti is justice. Dandam is stick. Remember the good old days, at least I had in my school, teachers who had a dandam in their hand. And that used to be used as a tool for punishing errant boys. Show me your hand. So, Danda Nidista is making evil people to pursue the path of goodness by showing the dandam, punishment. You know, punishment is required. Devi punishes those ignorant men who are not willing to pursue the virtuous path, who do adharma. She is taking the danda and showing him, look here, if you don't follow proper thing, I am here to punish you. Danda Nidista. Okay. Krishna says, you know, I want to quote this particular verse from Bhagavad Gita. Dando dametam asmi niti rasmi digishatam Bhaunam chaivasmi gukhyanam yanam yanavatamaham. It's coming in chapter 10, 38th verse. Krishna says, I am punishment amongst means of preventing lawlessness. Dando dametasmi. And proper conduct amongst those who seek victory. Amongst secrets, Maunam Taivasmi. I am silence. Jnanam Jnanam Vatamhyam. And I am the wise. In the wise, I am the wisdom. So he says, I am punishment amongst means of preventing law. Dando Dametasmi. So Bhaskaraya actually is quoting Devi Puranam. He says, because Devi leads to certainty, so men who wander into good and bad ways, by restraining, by soothing them, she is called Dandaniti. And punishment is necessary to instill fear amongst evil persons. That is why we have laws and justice and police and so on. So correctional facilities and so on, right? It applies even to today's. Next word here, Nama is Dahara Kasharupini. Nama 609. She is a subtle form. She is a subtle form, Dahara Kasharupini, in the heart of all beings. Bhaskaraya quotes Chandogya Upanishad. He said there is in the city of Brahman, the small lotus house. And in that small ether, that should be sought for. Here the ether of the heart is said to be Brahman. This Nama confirms that Ambal is that form of Brahman that can be realized only by devotion. So Dahara Kasharupani is the Ambal, the subtle form. Next one is a long name, just one word. Pratipanmukya Rakanta Titi Mandala Pujita. This is one Nama, 610. Pratipat means the first lunar day, and Raka means the full moon. Now each of the lunar day is represented by one Nitya Devi, Titi Nitya Devi. In the Sri Chakra, Ambal is surrounded by 15 Avarana Devatas. They are called Nitya Devis. You know, their names are Kameshwari, Bagamalani, Nitya Berunda, Vasnivasini, Vijaya, Sarvamangala, Mahavajreshwari, Shivaduti, Tvarita, Kulasundari, Nitya, and so on. So, Titi Mandala is also referred in the Vedas, which is mentioning 15 names, each representing 15 lunar days. In Sri Vidya Upasana, all these deities are worshipped during the ritual worship of Sri Chakra, all the 15 Nitya Devis. She is worshipped also by the aggregate of the Nitya Devis, of the 1st to 15th. So, Pratipan Mukhya Rakanta Titi Mandala Pujita means Devi is to be worshipped by the modes laid down for the different days from the Pratipat, that is the beginning, the first lunar day, to the full moon as described by the Tantras. And Purnima Tithi is very auspicious for Ambal, and today happens to be Purnima, which is a coincidence. So, worshipping Ambal today is a very, very auspicious event for us. So, going further to the next sloka, which is 123. Kalatmika Kalanata Kavya Lapa Vinodini Sachamara Ramavani Savya Dakshina Sevita. Kalatmika. Devi is in the form of Kala. Kala actually means minute parts of an entity. Bhaskaraya says that Kala here refers to 10 Kalas of fire, 12 of the sun, and 16 of the moon. And the other well-known 64 Kalais, you know, Arubatnala Kalaigal we say. They are also to be taken here. He adds many more Kalas, many that we are not even aware of. For example, he says in the waking state, there are 4 Kalas, namely rising, waking, thinking, and the continuous mental action we have got. We got 4 Kalas. Belong to waking state. This waking state is said to be Devi accompanied with all qualities. The 4 Kalas belong to Shakti. Likewise, there are 4 Kalas in the sleeping state. What are these 4 Kalas? Death, oblivion, not conscious of what is happening, indifference, and sleep. All these belong to Shiva. Then there are 4 other Kalas that belong to Shiva as well as Shakti, both. Now, these are described as desire, confusion, anxiety, and recollection of sense objects. So, these are Kalas of what is called Turiya state. Turiya is a state as pure consciousness. It's a state of liberation. Ultimate Turiya state. So these 4 Kalas, what I mentioned, they belong to the Turiya state. So there are also many other Kalas, if you're not going into the details, but Kalatmika means Devi is in the form of Kala. Going further, the next line here, Kala Natha. Actually, it's a sequel to the earlier one. Here it means Kala Natha means ruler. Ruler of Kala that we described earlier in the Nama 611. Kavya Lapa Vinodini. Kavya means, you know what, great epics. In Tamil also we say Kavyam, right? In Marathi we say Kavya. Vinodini means happy. Now Kavyas are said to have 18 characteristics like serenity, regularity, absence of vanity, sincerity, simplicity, veracity, then irritability, adaptability, humility, tenacity, all it comes under the 18 characteristics. Nobility, generosity, charity, purity, all that. Valmiki Ramayana has got all the 18 qualities. It is said to be the first among the epics. Now, Devi Kavya Lapa Vinodha means she is very happy to listen to such great epics that fulfill all 18 qualities. That's why when Devi is worshipped sincerely, one attains poetic abilities. I mentioned the well-known example of poet Kalidasa. I told him about. He composed the Shravana Dandakam in praise of Devi and wrote many plays like Sakuntalam, Meghaduta, Raghuvamsa, etc. Another example which I mentioned earlier was Mukha Kavi, who was the author of Mukha Panchati. Now, Saundara Lahari, there is a verse 17, which also says about how Ambal is so happy about Kavi. I will recite this. Savitri Birvacham Sasimani Shila Bangaruchibihi Vasinyadya Bistvam Sahajanani Sanchintayatayaha Sakarta Kavyanam Bhavati Mahatam Bangaruchibihi Vasobir Vagdevi Vadana Kamala Moda Maduraihi. It says, one who meditates on you, O Devi, who is surrounded by 8 Vagdevis, appearing like a cut-out moonstone. They attain the capacity to compose splendid poetic works like epics, stotrams, which add to the luster of Saraswati's lotus-like face. Vachobir Bhagdevi Badana Kamala Moda Maduraihi. Kamala means lotus-like. They actually brighten up Saraswati's face, lotus-like face, by these kind of poetic creations. Saundara Lahari adds to this particular nama that Ambal loves Kavya and she likes to listen to it. Okay. Next nama, 614, is actually a long one. Sachamara Ramavani Sabya Dakshina Sevita. You can see in this picture here on the slide, Ambal, she's attended on either side. On to her right is Lakshmi, and on to her left is Saraswati. Each one is bearing chamaram, like a fan. So Ambal is attended on either side by Lakshmi and Saraswati. Sa Chamara Ramavani Sabya Dakshina Sevita. So that is the meaning of this particular nama, where you see also in the picture Saraswati and Lakshmi, they are fanning Ambal with chamaras. The next verse is 124. Adi Shakti Rameyatma Parama Pavana Kritihi Anekoda Brahmanda Janani Divya Vigraha. Adi Shakti. Adi Shakti is Adi's primordial. She is a primordial energy. She is the cause of the origin of the universe. I always sing a small song on that, no? Adi Parashakti, Jai Jai Adi Parashakti. Adi Parashakti, Jai Jai Adi Parashakti. Adi Parashakti, Jai Jai Adi Parashakti. Angal Adi Paniyam Shakti. Om, Om, Om என்றாலே ஓடியும் வருவாள் அன்னை பராசக்தி. ஓம் என்றாலே ஓடியும் வருவாள் ஆதி பராசக்தி. ஜெய ஜெய ஆதி பராசக்தி. ஆதி பராசக்தி. ஜெய ஜெய ஆதி பராசக்தி. நாங்கள் அடிபணியும் சக்தி. It's a small song which we always sing, praising Adi Parashakti. Next is Ameya. Ameya means Devi is not measurable, immeasurable. Bhaskaraya cites the Linga Purana, which says heaven, Patala, the end of the world. The 8 coverings of Brahmanda, all that can be measured is in the form of Uma. And who is the measurer? He is the great Lord Shiva. So except herself and Shiva, there is none to measure her. So Ameya means Devi is immeasurable. Next is Atman. Atma. Atma here means Jivatma. The next name Parama means the Supreme, Paramatma. Again here the Linga Purana says, just as different sparks are said to be in the fire, so the Jivas are all in Shiva and he is the Supreme Self. So Atman has got several meanings such as body, mind, Brahman, nature, firmness, intelligence, etc. As you know, Durga Saptati said, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Samstita Namastastai 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 Namo Namaha. Devi is also in the form of intelligence. The 207th name of Goddess Lalitha Sahasranamam is Manonmani, where she is the mind beyond the mind. You know, Ramanujam was a great mathematical genius. When he said, Ambal would appear in his sleep and give him the kind of an intuitive push, and next day morning he comes out with something remarkable. So you have from Tirunjana Sambandha to Kalidasa, Kalamegam to Ramanujam, Ambal is a divine phenomenon to make the inherent intelligence shine. So she is Atman, the Jiva. Going further, Parama, as I mentioned, Supreme, like in Parameshwar. And Bhaskara says there are 4 forms of Parabrahman. The Vishnu Purana says the first form of Supreme Brahman is Purusha. The second is the unmanifested. Third is manifested. And the fourth is time. So that which is higher than unmanifested, Purusha, manifested, and time is seen by the wise to be the supreme abode of Vishnu. The forms are called Pradhana, and they are the cause of the manifestation of the universe. So Ambal has crossed all these 4 forms to remind us Parama, the supreme. Next Nama is Pavana Kritihi, 619. It is meaning Ambal is the embodiment of purity. She is the embodiment of purity. The next one is 620. Anehe Koda Brahmanda Janani. Very easy to understand. Anda in Hindi is egg, isn't it? And Brahmanda means big egg. It means literally eggs of Brahman, which is the creator of many crores of worlds. She is a mother, what is called Virat, for the deities of many crores of Brahmandas. What is Virat? Virata Purusha. Virat is a primeval force of creation that has countless heads, eyes, and feet, pervading the entire universe. You cannot comprehend it, it's so big. Purusha Suktam says, Sagasthasesha Purushaha Sagasrata Sagasrapat. It describes the emergence of Virata from the conscious being Purusha, having thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, and thousands of feet. Everything in this world, including creatures, sentient creatures, insentient matter. It's a manifestation of 1 foot, 1 pada, or 1 quarter. Purusha Suktam says further on this, Purusham yevedikam sarvam sadbhudam yachabhavyam udamadatusthesano. Purusham yevedikam sarvam yadbhudam yachabhavyam udamadatusthesana idan nenatirohiti eta vanasya mahima to jayam purushaha padosya vishvabhutani tribhasyatam tripadashyamritam divi padosya vishvabhutani tripadashyamritam divi. Hardly 1 quarter of the Purusha is comprehended as the totality of creation. The rest of him, the tripadashyam, is unmanifested. So those of you who know Purusha Suktam will know this particular verse. When you recite this, you have this meaning coming in. And this is Aneyakoda Brahmanda Janani. She is literally the mother of Virata. And the Virata is the primeval force of creation that has countless heads, countless eyes, and countless feet. All manifestation of 1 foot, 1 quarter, and the rest of him is not manifested. From the manifested part only sprang the Brahmanda or the cosmos, the countless forms of living and non-living species and the 5 elements. Also the divine architect Vishwakarma, the master builder, also came from that Brahmanda. That is the manifested part. Unmanifested is 3 parts. So this is the meaning of Aneyakoda Brahmanda Janani. Next one is Divya Vigraha. Divya Vigraha. Divinely shaped. Bhaskara is quoting Markandeya Purana. It says, even in the ether, without the support, Chandika fought with him. Meaning, Ambal fought the battle against the demon Shumba. Shumba Nishumba. Devi Mahatma, it comes, climbing to the sky without any support. So that is Ambal's shape, the divinely shaped, where she can climb without any support to kill the demon Shumba. Okay, we'll go to the next verse, which is 125. Klinkari kevala gukya kaivalya patadajani tripuratri jaganvandya trimurti trideshwari. Klinkari. Klinkari is the creator of the syllable Klim. She is a Klim herself. Klimkara, the Shivakama, and she is Shiva's wife. She is in the form of Kamakala, Klim. Is also known as Manmata, Kamadeva Bija. Next is Kevala. Kevala. Kevala means absolute. She is singular. She is devoid of any attributes. It is a unique feature of Nirguna Brahman. Completely free from influence of pleasure or pain. Alone, fully established in the real self. Shiva Sutra explains this. Bija, Klim, is made up of Ka, La, Im. When the 2 Bijas, Ka and La, are removed from Klim, the Bija that remains is Im, which is Kevala, meaning the Kamakala, capable of giving liberation, Kamakala, which forms a part of Klim, capable of liberating the soul. The meaning also is the 3 objects, Dharma, Artha, Kama, are attained by Kama Bija, and Moksha is attained only through Kamakala. Next, Nama is Guhya. Guhya, they talked about it earlier, the secret Guha. Ambal is secretive both in form and nature. And our worship should also be secretive in nature. There is a mantram which I often say this. Kuhyadikukya goptritram gruhanis kuhyadikukya goptritram gruhanis pratam tapam siddhir bhavati me devi tatprasad mayi stira. Guhyadi Gukhya Goptritvam. You are the protector of the secret of all secrets. Grihani Asmat Kritam Jabam. Oh Devi, please accept the jaba that is done by me. Siddhir Bhavatume Devi. By your grace, may I receive Sthira Siddhi. Sthira Siddhi. Tut Prasadat Mai Sthira. The accomplishment that is permanent. Sthira means permanent. So this is a small 4-line mantra. We surrender to Devi of that. Next one is Kaivalya Padadayani. This is Nama 625. Kaivalya, which means a state of singleness without attributes. It is the final stage of life of a living being. The soul is about to leave the body and getting ready to merge with the Brahman. Kaivalya is a liberation or salvation. It is called the final stage. So Kaivalya Padadayani. She is the bestower of the 5th state. Dayani means bestower, giver. She gives the final stage. And Pada here means 4 kinds of salvation. Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, Sahuja. Bhaskara gives all these 4. I will give just only the first 3. 1, Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya. Salokya means remaining with the God in the same world. Sarupya, receiving the same form with God. And Samipya, remaining near the deity. These are all 3 kinds of salvation which are given in Chandogya Upanishad. The last one, 4, is called Sayuja, which is becoming one with the deity. Worshipping the deity as if the devotee is one with the deity. The authority for these 4 Sayuja is in Mundaka Upanishad. So, these Sayuja is something great. Perhaps you all know that famous Saundar Lahari verse which says, Bhavani Tum Dase Mai Vitara Drishtim Sa Karuna Iti Stotum Vanchan Katayati Bhavani Tum Itiyaha Tadaivatvam Tasmai. This is in the Sayuja Padavim Mukunda Brahmendra Sputamukuta Nirajita Padam. Adi Shankara praising Ambika. So he says, the moment you say Bhavani Tvam, Ambal doesn't even wait. She gives you the Sayuja Padavi. That is the merger of yourself with the mother. So this is the 4th kind of salvation. And Ambal is so great that she is a Kaivalya Padadayini. She gives you the Sayuja Padavi the moment you say Bhavani Tvam. So great is her grace. Next is Tripura. Nama 626. Devi is called, Bhaskara gives different interpretations. He says Devi is called Tripura because she is older than the 3 other people, no? Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. The Tripura Narayana says Tripura means 3 nadis, Sushumna, Pingala, Ida, which we talked about earlier, Manas, Buddhi and Chittam. And Devi dwells in all of them, so it's called Tripura. The Gaudapadara Sutra says it is by 3 tattvas. Tattvas are explained various qualities or states of consciousness. And the Lagu Stava says there are 3 devas, 3 Vedas, 3 fire, 3 energies, 3 notes, swaras, 3 worlds, 3 abodes. three sacred lakes, three castes, whatever in the world is threefold. And such is three objects of human desire also. Because of this, everything is threefold. Ambal is called Tripura. So it's in the form of triads, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Itcha, Jnana, Kriya, Shakti, the three kutas of Panchadasi, the three creations, sustenance, the three nadis, the three worlds, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, three gunas, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. This is all three. Three in Sanskrit is also three in English. So three is an important number, having different meaning. There are many three coming follow. The namas that follow. The next one is three Jagat Vandya. Three Jagat Vandya. Ambal is adorned by the three worlds, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. Three worlds are represented by three Yakritis. Yakritis, which we say in Sandhya Vandanam, isn't it? Om, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. Bhur Logam is our human world. Bhuvar Logam is sphere of sky, right above us. Suvar Logam is planetary sphere where Devas, Indra and live. These three worlds are nothing but three stages of consciousness. So, three Jagan Vidya is adored by all the three worlds. Trimurti, next Nama. Trimurtis are Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. She is a combined form of all these three gods. So here Bhaskara is actually quoting a story also that he says that in Varaha Purana, Brahma, he looked at Shiva and called Narayana. The divine Narayana stood between the two. They become Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Then a vision appeared before them of a young girl in a divine form. And Brahma and Shiva asked her, "Who are you? What are you doing?" This girl said, "If you have three colors, black, white, and red." She said, "You don't know me. I am your own Shakti. I am superior. And I am born from your gaze." And the triad, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, said, "Very pleased, they granted boons. Your name is Triple Devi. You will always protect the world. And you will have many other names from your qualities. Make your body threefold according three colors you possess, white, red, and black." Devi, thus addressed, made her body threefold. She assumed three forms, white, red, and black. White color is Brahma, is Sattvic in nature. Next is black, representing Vishnu's Rajoguna. And third color is red, representing the red color Rudra. So Devi Bhagavatam also says Sambhavi is white hued, Sri Vidya is red, and Shama is black. The three Shaktis are of three different qualities. Next Nama is 629, Sri Dasa. Sri Daseshwari. Sri Daseshwari. Sri Dasa is 3 times 10. So she is the ruler of thrice 10. Three Dasas are the Devas. She is the chief of all three Dasas. She is the ruler of 33 Ganas also. Each Gana is 10 million. Going to next verse 126. Trayakshari Divya Gandhacha Sindura Tilakanchita Uma Shailendra Tanaya Gauri Gandharva Sevita. Trayakshari, Akshari. Aksharam I told you, 3 syllables. What are those? Vagbhava Kuta, Kamaraja Kuta, Madhya Kuta, Shakti Kuta. All these 3. So 3 syllables. Thus the Devi is called Trayakshari. There are also other explanations like Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, the words heart and truth are also 3 syllables. Like for example, Hridaya. 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 It's got 3 syllables. Satya, truth. Satya. So both heart and truth mean the Brahman. And all those that have 3 syllables lead to Ambal. 631 Nama, Divya Gandhatya, which means endowed with divine perfume. She is Divya Gandhatya. Devi possesses perfumes that are not easily perceived. Next is Sindura Tilakanchita. Sindura, decorated with a red forehead mark. Sindura Tilakanchita. 633. Uma. Uma. Bhaskaraya says, U means Shiva and Ma means Lakshmi. Uma means Shiva and Lakshmi together are Shiva and Ambal. Uma, rose color, also saffron color. So Devi, who resides as brightness in all creatures, Uma also has a combination of three letters. U-M-A. Om, the Pranava, refers to creation. U refers to creation, M refers to destruction, and A refers to sustenance. U-M-A. So you have in Pranava also Uma. And according to Shiva Sutra, Uma means Ichha Shakti. Ichha Shakti of yogins. Next one, Shailendra Tanaya. Shailendra is referring to the mountain. She is the daughter of the king of mountain. Tanaya is offspring. She was born to Himavan, so she is called Shailendra Tanaya. And Gauri is the next Nama. Because her color is yellowish, she is called Gauri. And 636 Nama, which is the last one today, Gandharva Sevita, attended by Gandharvas. Gandharvas are those people who have exceptional musical skills. There are supposed to be 12 excellent Gandharvas. They are residing in the sky or in the region of the air or heavenly waters, and they are celestial singers. So she is worshipped by the Gandharvas. So with this now, we have completed up to verse 126 and covered 636 namas. Today we covered, I think we were not able to cover much really. We covered only 6 verses and 36 namas. So we are now coming to the end of the session 12. I'm going to conclude now with our usual concluding prayers. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Saranye Trayambake Gauri Narajani Namostute Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Swasti Pradap Paripalayam Tam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahimsa Go Brahmnebhyo Soma Sanityam Doka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Mangalam Guru Shri Chandramaulishwar ke Shakti Ganapati Sharadambige Shankaracharya ke Shakti Ganapati Mahaganapati Sharadambige ke Kala Bhairava ke Kali Durgai ke Veera Dheera Shura Hanuma Maruti Charanati ke Mallikarjuna ke Selva Janardana ke Amba Bhavani Kambada Ganapati Chandi Chamundi ke Shri Krishna Bhagavan ke Shri Chakravasini ke Sita Rama Lakshmana Sahita Maruti Charanati ke Vidyaranyar ke Vidya Shankaram ke Vagishwari ke Vajradega Garuda Anjaneyar ke Shri Valli Deva Sena Sameta Subramanyar ke Tungabhadrai ke ஸ்ருங்கநிவாசினிக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிலைத்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே சச்சிதானந்த சிவ அபிநவ நிருசிம்ஹ பாரதிக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு சார்வபௌமருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு வித்யா தீர்த்தருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு பாரதி தீர்த்தருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு விதுஷேகர பாரதிக்கே மங்களம் குரு ஸ்ரீ சந்திரமௌலீஸ்வருக்கே சக்தி கணபதி சாரதாம்பி சங்கராச்சாரியருக்கே சக்தி கணபதி மகாகணபதி சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிறைந்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you again. Until we meet next month. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Om Sri Matre Namaha.